Director's Corner, take one. Lights, action, camera. Hi, I'm Norbert Brown Jr. and welcome to Director's Corner. This show will tell you all about theater, movies, TV, and musicals. I am Norbert Brown Jr. I did over 40 stage plays in my career. Also wrote for TV, All in the Family, The Jeffersons, and did some of the black movies in the 1980s. So I'm a part of history, and so are you. By looking at this podcast, you will learn a lot. Directors, producers, and everybody else in the industry, singers, authors, everybody has a part of this world. So let's get started as I sit in front of my piano at home. Of course. Now, let me tell you a little about my start in the business and how I just took over and dominated it as a kid, 16 years old. I had the opportunity to write for All in the Family and Sherman Hensley, and I did it. I was able to do what I wanted to do back then, and I'm still doing it now in 2019. But I had a lot of help from my uncle Johnny Tiller, and also a young man that I'm about to talk about right now, a legend to everyone, one of the sharpest dressed men in the business, and he also dressed everybody else. His name is Gorgeous George. He was the designer and also the brains behind my stage play, The Life Story of Marvin Gaye, but also behind the Isley Brothers, behind Earth, Wind and Fire, behind the Isley Brothers, Earth, Wind and Fire, the OJs, and everybody else, Isaac Hayes. And he's still around right now at the young age of 95 years old. He helped me in 2005 write and direct The Life Story of Marvin Gaye, featuring Keith Washington as Marvin Gaye. Also Tanya Blunt from Sister Act as Tammy Terrell. And that wasn't it. We had an all-star cast on the road. One of the best stage plays in history. Made more money than some movies out there at that time. And I was in awe. But that's not it. We had Melissa Morgan playing Diana Ross. And also Allison Williams playing the mother, Miss Gay. It was incredible to come out with a life story and a musical. First time it was done in 1999 when I did Jackie Wilson with Bobby Brooks. But just to get back to Gorgeous George and his incredible history with everybody in the business world, you name it, he made it. He made a suit for anybody that you want to talk about. Wilson Pickett, Joe Tex, the Jackson 5, and many more. But to be a part of him and for him to teach me some of the things that he taught me in 2005 was just incredible. I was a director, I was young, but I was learning and I listened to everything. And that's the point that we have to say and we have to do in this business. We have to listen. Some people are going to tell you the right things and some people will tell you the wrong things. But you put them all together and you do the correct thing. So, like we know, directors are the captain. They are the head of the ship. The director is the one to keep everybody focused. The actors, the understudies, the singers, the dancers, the director do it all. The producer produces the show. Tell people about the show and bring the show out so you will know all about the show. That's what producers do. And then you have executive producer. He's the guy with the money. The executive producer brings the money to your show. He's able to give you all these things that I have here. And he's the one that pays your paycheck. And I'm the one to make sure that the show sells, to make sure it's a good quality show. By hollering at people, by sending people off the stage, by cutting people. Yeah, cutting people. that means to cut them off the show. If they can't do the job, they don't need to be on the runway. That's what we all know as directors. But I'm one of the best, and I'm still at it today. Have a couple of my plays that I'm about to retire. That's a new thing that the directors and everybody is doing right now. If you have a play that made a lot of money in the past, you bring it back for one more time, and then you retire it. So everybody will remember that play for always, and they will buy your CDs, and they will buy your DVDs, and they will buy everything that got to do with that play. Another play that was really popular for me in the 1990s was A Good Man's Hard to Find. That play did so good that all the women in 1990s was using it as a quote every time they met somebody. So that means that you did something so good that people remembered it and they used it in different conversations. And I started to do so many plays that people knew who Norbert Brown was. They knew that I was a kid from Atlanta, Stone Mountain, Georgia. And they knew that I moved to LA. But in the 90s, it was big for plays. I had 2 and 3 plays out at the same time. I remember when I had A Good Man's Hard to Find out, I also had Real Women Pray, Beauty in the Eye of the Beholder, The Devil Made Me Do It. Those was all my plays, and they was popular. For the urban fans out there, we would pack the house, 2,500 some nights, 5,000 other nights. And some of the bigger cities like Chicago, we would also have almost 10,000 people. And at that time, we was able to have shows for 6 days a week. One show on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, one on Thursday, one on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 2 on Sunday. Well, we can't do that anymore because the people and the fans are not the same anymore in no city that you go to. Well, some of the cities are still popular for plays like Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York, and Chicago, and sometimes Atlanta. So you got to remember that a director's job is to direct the best shows to get the people out. The producer's job is to believe in the director, believe that he can do it, and back him up. And all the promoters are the people that just go to the city, book the theaters, and get you in. A great director can get into any theater in any city. Only thing they have to do is send their name there. We also get so popular that we can use our name just to get somebody new show sold out. So if they say to you, I want to hire you, Norbert, as a co-director because I want to use you for your awards and your shows and your fan base. And I'll look at the show, read the show, and see if I want to put my name on the line. Some new directors are great. Some new writers are great. But some writers just didn't get it yet. And sometimes if you sign up just to get the money, you might lose. So remember, if your name get popular, hold on to it. And make sure that you make your shows your shows. So when somebody see the show, they know that you wrote it. You, no one else. And remember, don't be like me, don't be like Tyler Perry, don't be like anybody else but yourself, because that's the best way to be. So if you are a writer or a director or a producer and you don't like comedies or you're not good with comedies, don't get involved in a comedy. If you're a director or a producer and you do good comedies, make that your business. But if you do dramas or musicals, that's when you get to it because you're putting 2 and 3 things together at one time. That's very hard. You got to put your mind in it. And if you do, you will be the best. I won all kind of awards and I'm still doing it today. And I'm going to keep on going and keep on getting good and best. So I have a couple tours coming up, but I got to go. I'm about to go and wash my Mercedes. So I will see you next week, same time, same place. Get the popcorn, lights, camera, action. Thank you. Good night.